Welcome to the Mobile Home Friend YouTube channel. I am Charles Odell, and this is your primary resource for everything manufactured housing. Whether you are tackling a full remodel like the one you see here, or just looking for honest advice on repairs and financing, we provide the data and technical deep dives you need to succeed. Our mission is simple: to help you save money and improve your home through first principles logic and transparent cost breakdowns. For the full technical guides and even more resources, visit us at mobilehomefriend.com.
Welcome to another deep dive from Mobile Home Friend. Today, Chuck, we're jumping into a huge topic: installing tankless water heaters in mobile homes. And it's all based on our latest research over at mobilehomefriend.com. That's right, Scott. It's a question we get constantly, and man, there is a lot to unpack here.
All right, let's just get right to it. This is the question, isn't it? Can you actually put one of these fancy, modern, tankless water heaters into a mobile or manufactured home?
It really is the number one question for anyone thinking about an upgrade. And you know what? The answer might actually surprise a few people.
So the short answer is a big, loud yes. You absolutely can. But, and this is the huge but that we're going to spend most of our time on today, it is not a simple swap. There are some really specific, critical things you have to know first.
Exactly. So before we dive into all the cool benefits that get everyone so excited, we've got to clear the air and bust a couple of common myths first.
That's a great call. We need to make sure everybody's starting on the same page, Because what you think you're getting isn't always the complete picture.
Okay, let's tackle myth number one, this idea of instant hot water. Look, the unit itself heats water instantly, that part's true, but you still have to wait for all the cold water that's already in your pipes to get pushed out first. So the wait time at the faucet, pretty much the same.
And that second big myth, that they're maintenance-free, also not true. To keep them running right, you've got to flush them out every 6 to 12 months to get rid of all the mineral buildup. It's really no different than a traditional tank in that respect.
So, now that we've got those myths out of the way, let's get to the good stuff. Why would you even want to go through the hassle of doing this upgrade in the first place?
Oh yeah, this is the exciting part. Because we're talking about some seriously big benefits here, and they go way beyond just getting a hot shower.
And for most people, Chuck, the number one reason is right here, your wallet. We're talking about a potential 20 to 30% savings on your utility bill every single year. And the reason for that is so simple. A tankless heater only fires up when you turn on the hot water. It isn't sitting there burning fuel 24/7 just to keep a big old tank of water hot waiting for you to use it.
And that savings comes directly from being way more energy efficient. This rating, it basically tells you how much of the energy you pay for actually turns into hot water you can use.
Right, so with an old tank, you might only be getting 50 or 60 cents of hot water for every dollar you spend. But with a tankless unit, that jumps up to 80 or even 90 cents on the dollar. That is a massive difference over the life of the heater.
And then you've got the long-term investment. Your standard tank heater, you're lucky if you get 10, maybe 15 years out of it. But a well-maintained tankless unit, we're talking 20, even 25 years. That's potentially double the lifespan, and as we noted on the site, an upgrade with that kind of longevity adds real, tangible value to your home if you ever decide to sell. And beyond the money, you get some amazing day-to-day perks. My favorite has to be the near-limitless hot water. No more rushing through your shower before the hot water runs out.
I'm totally with you on that. But you can't forget about the space savings. Getting rid of that big, clunky tank can literally free up an entire closet, which in a mobile home is an absolute game changer. Plus, you get cleaner water and a much lower risk of a catastrophic leak.
Okay, so endless hot water, lower bills, more space. It sounds like a complete no-brainer.
It does, but this is where we have to pump the brakes and have a little reality check, and this is the most important part of this whole explainer. Installing one of these in a manufactured home is not the same as in a regular site-built house. There are specific rules you have to play by.
Okay, let's make this crystal clear. You cannot just go out and buy any tankless heater you see on sale. The model you choose absolutely must be approved by HUD for use in manufactured homes.
Right, and HUD stands for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. They're the ones setting the safety standards. So you have to check with the water heater's manufacturer to see their specific list of HUD-approved models before you even think about buying one.
And these HUD rules exist for one reason: to keep you and your family safe. This quote is a perfect example. If you install it inside, the room has to have walls and a ceiling made from 5/16" or thicker gypsum board.
That's a critical fire safety measure.
And let's be really clear, these aren't suggestions. They are strict, non-negotiable requirements for a safe installation.
So let's break this all down into a really simple 3-step checklist. Step 1, and we can't say it enough,
Find a HUD-approved model. Step 2 is making the choice between an inside or an outside unit. And honestly, your climate is going to make this decision for you. If you live somewhere with freezing temperatures, you've got to go with an indoor unit. No question.
And step 3, which is a huge one, is you have to verify your home's gas and electric supply. This is where a lot of projects can get tricky.
Yeah, you really can't underestimate that third step. These units are power hungry. They need a bigger gas line or a much higher amperage dedicated electrical circuit than what your old tank used.
And getting those upgrades done by a professional, that can be a major part of the total cost, sometimes even a third of the price of the unit itself.
Now, if you want the full technical breakdown on how to check your supply lines, we've detailed everything in the post on mobilehomefriend.com. All right, so you've done your homework, you've done the safety checks, you've budgeted for the whole installation.
Now we get to the fun part, actually choosing the perfect unit that's sized correctly for your family's needs.
Now, sizing a tankless unit is totally different from a traditional tank. You stop thinking about how many gallons it holds. Exactly. It's all about two key things. First is flow rate, which is just gallons per minute, or GPM. The second is temperature rise, which is how many degrees you need to heat up the incoming cold water to get it nice and hot. You basically have to calculate the maximum amount of hot water you might possibly use at the exact same time.
And this table makes figuring that out pretty easy. You just have to think about your home's peak usage. For instance, are you ever running the dishwasher while someone else is in the shower? If you are, you just add those GPM numbers together. So that's 1.5 for the dishwasher, plus, let's say 2.0 for the shower. That means you need a unit that can handle at least a 3.5 GPM flow rate. And of course, this is another one of those practical tools you can find right on the Mobile Home Friend website to help you do the math. So, that really brings us to the final question you've got to ask yourself. The initial cost is definitely higher. There's just no getting around that.
But when you weigh that against maybe 2 decades of lower utility bills, an increased home value, and of course that endless supply of hot water, well, you have to decide if that upfront investment is worth it for you.
Thanks for watching. For more guides and the full article on this topic, head on over to mobilehomefriend.com. And don't forget to check the links in the description below.
Thanks for watching. For more technical guides on this topic, click the link to see the in-depth article over at mobilehomefriend.com. There are many more informational dives into manufactured home topics to investigate and keep your project moving forward.